Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Cody Piper. Thanks for checking out my channel today. I make videos about filmmaking, photography, producing, editing, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you haven't been here before, thanks for checking me out. July 4th is coming up soon. Yay, America. So what we're gonna be doing is taking a look at some tips on how to shoot great pictures of fireworks. I went out and shot a short film a couple days ago and we incorporated fireworks into our final scene. And so I've been reviewing how to shoot fireworks and some tips on that and watching other videos. So after going out and actually doing it, getting some great shots and making a few mistakes along the way, I wanna share what I've learned with you guys. So here are 5 tips on how to shoot great pictures of fireworks. All right guys, so tip number 1, you wanna make sure that you plan ahead. So the 4th of July is actually on July 4th this year, if you didn't know. And what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you know when the fireworks are going off, like what time. You wanna know exactly where they're gonna be going off in the location. And then you wanna make sure you know the parking situation. If you're gonna have to walk like 15 blocks, you might wanna leave your heavy tripod at home and bring the travel tripod. You can actually reach out to the coordinators who are like coordinating the events for the fireworks and everything and get exact locations. You can get the exact times of when the fireworks are gonna go off. So reach out to them, give them a call or an email, figure out exactly those details before you go out, so that way you're set, you get there early, you get there on time, you know the exact spot that you're gonna be in, so you can scout out those angles beforehand and set up your camera and you are good to go. All right guys, tip number 2, bring a tripod. So that way you can get stable shots. This might seem like an obvious thing, but you're going to really want to have your camera on a tripod when you're shooting fireworks because they move so quickly that if you don't have it on a tripod and you're trying to hand hold it, especially with a slower shutter, you're going to get really blurry motion. And you'll see more on this on tip number 5, but make sure you have a tripod with you. Okay guys, tip number 3, bring a wide angle lens. So I know in my last video I showed you guys what to do if you didn't have a wide angle lens and you could take a bunch of different pictures and then stitch them all together. This is actually not gonna apply when it comes to fireworks. If you don't have a wide angle, you can't really take pictures of all the fireworks and then stitch them together later. What you should do is bring a wide angle lens. So I recommend 16 millimeters or wider, and I actually learned this the hard way when we shot our short film. So I'm gonna show you a clip from that of me kind of freaking out for a second because I didn't have my 16 millimeter on, I had my 35 millimeter on. Check it out. All right, Jim, quick, I need to change lenses.
Oh my God, you got like 5 minutes.
All right, so as you can see, I missed a couple of those first fireworks that went off because I still have my 35 millimeter on when I should have had at least a 16 millimeter. But then as you can see in the next video, I still couldn't even get like the fireworks in the landscape below all at the same time. So I would recommend something wider than 16. So if you're on a crop sensor camera, you can look this up online to see if your sensor is full frame or a crop sensor. So if you can get somewhere close to like 11 millimeter on a crop sensor, then that's gonna be great for getting a really wide shot of the fireworks with landscape or with people in it. But if you're on a full frame sensor though, 16 millimeter will work, but you can go a little bit wider if you do wanna get all the landscape in there. So plan on it, bring it, wide angle, do it. If you don't have a wide angle, just rent one from Lens Rentals. They're like 30 bucks. Can you look up how much it costs for Lens Rentals? All right guys, tip number 4, tell a story. Don't just capture the images of the fireworks just because you want to or you're trying to get a good shot or likes on Instagram or anything. Actually tell a story and be creative and look around you and see what you can incorporate into your shot. If you have some friends that are coming out with you, put a couple into the shot. That's what we actually ended up doing for some of the artwork for the film that we made. I'll show you that picture right here. So as you can see, we took our couple and actually composited a couple of the fireworks into the shot together, and it's a romantic shot with this couple in front of the fireworks and the fireworks lighting them and lighting up the little grass and everything. So be creative, and it doesn't have to be people. Let's say maybe you can get a little further back and you can see like a water tower, or like maybe the city skyline or something. Maybe you're even a couple miles away and shooting the fireworks in the distance, and just be creative and really push yourself to actually get out there and tell a story with your images. All right guys, tip number 5 and our final tip of the day, set your camera to manual mode. So once you have your camera set to manual, I'm gonna give you a couple of settings here that you wanna make sure you've got locked down before the fireworks get started. So you wanna bring your ISO down and set that as low as your camera will allow, so that way you're not letting in very much light. The next thing you wanna do is set your f-stop around f8, f11, f16, one of those. So that's gonna also limit the amount of light that's coming through the camera. And the reason that you're limiting the ISO and limiting the f-stop is so that you can let in more light through your shutter. So the way that these pictures work when you're taking the shots of the fireworks is that as they go up, you're gonna get that streak, and if you have a slower shutter, the camera's gonna constantly expose that streak that goes up, and so you're gonna get that nice long streak. Then at the top, when the firework explodes, you're gonna also see that explosion, and then as the firework trails off, you're gonna get all those trails, and it's gonna capture each light trail that goes off on each of the fireworks. But the reason you want to have your f-stop and your ISO lower is because if you don't, if you have those bright and your image starts to get brighter and brighter, the longer you have the shutter open, that explosion is going to be a really bright pop of light, and so that could like completely blow out the whole image. So you want to make sure your other settings are really low, so that way your shutter can be left open for a long time. So as far as the shutter speed settings go, your camera has a mode called bulb, which is going to be a B on the shutter. So if you scroll it all the way down and go all the way to your low, all the slow shutter speeds, if you go all the way to the back, there's one called B on most cameras, and if you choose that, that's bulb. And so what that is when you press the shutter down, it opens up the shutter and allows the light to hit the sensor, and then you're still holding it, and as long as you hold it, the shutter's open and the sensor is getting hit by light. But once you let go of it, it closes down the shutter, and then that finalizes the image. So again, like we talked about in tip number 2, this is why the tripod is key. If you do a longer exposure and it's a handheld shot, any little tiny movement that you do is gonna show up, and it's gonna like blur. You've probably seen this when you're trying to take pictures in like the dark when there's not a lot of light. It kind of blurs off and there's like a little trail of light. So that's why the tripod is crucial. So I'm gonna show you guys a composite that I did from some of the videos that we took and pieced those together into one pretty cool shot, which we saw earlier. I'm gonna show you guys how I did that. So if you already took pictures of the fireworks, or you already passed July 4th, and you're like, man, I really want to be able to fix those up to make them look like I wanted them to look, here's a quick way that you can do that. It's very similar to my last video that I put out about stitching the shots together, but it's a little bit different with fireworks, so check it out. All right guys, thanks for checking out my video today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned some useful tips for photography as you're going out and shooting some awesome pictures on July 4th. Don't forget to just enjoy the holiday. Don't get too caught up and too stressed about getting the perfect shot or all your settings set and all of that stuff. Have fun, enjoy the holiday, enjoy the time off. We're gonna be going up to the mountains. We go every year for the 4th and visit family and hang out and cook out, and it's an awesome time. Bringing little Luke up there with us, and it's gonna be his first 4th of July, so that'll be really cool. I wanna see your guys' pictures, so send me your pictures. If you send them to codypiperphotos@gmail.com, I'll be looking through those, and I'm gonna choose the best photo of fireworks that I get sent in, and I'm gonna print it out, and it's gonna be a production design element in my next short film. So again, I hope you guys learned something today. I hope you enjoy your 4th of July weekend, get some rest, have some fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.